So getting back to the PHP demonstration project here, we are still building the form. As previously, this field is not required. Year built, this is distinct from the date that the unit was spotted. This is getting into the weeds of knowing everything about the unit. But a lot of people like to have this. This will definitely not be required. And then I'll put in a section for additional comments and information. And this will be formatted a little bit differently as a text box. So because it's going to be a text box, I will not make this a varchar. And actually, year built should be an integer. Not because years are necessarily thought of as numbers, but I don't want people putting in something other than, say, 2018 or whatever. So that's an int. This will not be a varchar, though. This is a long text. And because it's going to be a text area, not going to be an input type, it's going to be a text area type. Which means it also needs a close tag. And I'll also put in a placeholder for this. It's less necessary than with the date, but for style's sake. Now the next thing is we need a submit button. This will be linked to other code, including the Ajaxify, actually. Div class, this is still considered a field, weirdly enough. But it is also a button. And the size of the button and so on is determined in the cascading style sheet, which I'm not really going to cover here, because like I said, that's really a separate subject. So submit, close the button, close the div, And finally, close the form, because that's our whole form. Now for the Ajaxify, that will give us any error messages for error handling. And then I have to close the larger div here that the wrapper was within. But the point is that I'm going to have to put in some if statements in the PHP file to make it clear whether the upload succeeded. Okay, so the div is closed, and we close the body. And then I close the HTML, which means this is the whole website. So I'm going to save it. This is going to be the index of the website. Now, obviously, if I were completing a full train spotting web application, the index would not be this page. The index would be the menu for whichever uploader you need, and probably would display people's uploads. But I'm not going to do that here. So if I load it as a file, open file, index, there we go. So we'll have to build the database next. So we'll start that in the next video.